have all of the senators come back to the table, we'll move forward. There is some shuffling to do at the consent agenda. We'll move Dean of the Day right next to presentations. We'll move officer reports all the way to the end after vacancies. And then we'll move old business up so we can complete business, do elections, and then have our reports. I know some senators have other places and classes to get to right after 6. If the reports run after 6, we'll just have you join online either on Zoom or watch our reports through YouTube. But we'll get business done over today. Any objections to the amendment of the consent agenda? Any amendments? Seeing none, we'll seek an approval of the consent agenda. Is there any objections to the consent agenda? Any objections to the consent agenda? Seeing none, the consent agenda is so approved. We'll move forward with presentations. There are no presentations for today. We'll move forward with Dean of the Day with Dean Chip Panahan being our guest today.
Good afternoon. Turn around. Back up.
Good afternoon. There we go. Now I can hear myself. Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me. This is my first time being here as Dean of the Day. My name is Dr. Chip Panahan. I am currently the interim associate dean for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. This is my 3rd year serving as interim associate dean. Previous to that, my home department has been psychology. I came here in August of 2009 and went all the way through the psych department as an assistant associate and full professor, served as department chair, and now I'm again in the department, in the dean's office in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. When I talked to Dean Brown this afternoon, because I said, hey, my schedule says Dean of the Day, what do I got to do? He said, go in there, say hello, all right? Welcome you, and again, congratulations. Thank you very much for serving on student government. I think it's a very important and sometimes what I would consider many times thankless job. So again, I want to make sure that I thank you all for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to serve student government. Within some background information about the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, some of you may not know that, but we're the youngest college here on campus. Way back in July 1, 2022, the decision was made to combine the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences with the College of Arts and Humanities. And so there were 18 departments between the two colleges. Within that year, there was an order to reduce the amount of departments. So again, College of Humanities and Social Sciences started July 1, 2022. As of July 1, 2023, we have 11 departments in our college. And again, starting from alphabetically from anthropology and geography to communication and media, criminal justice, creative arts, performing arts, English, history and gender studies, philosophy, language and cultures, sociology and leadership studies. I know I'm missing someone here because I don't want to look at my notes and trying to go through sociology and leadership studies. I just said that one there. And I'm missing a C one, communication and media. So those are our 11 departments from there. And just some upcoming events that we have. Oh, let me backtrack. I'm trying to go like I teach. Still there, not looking at my notes from here. We are until I'm proven wrong in the statement, we believe we are the largest college, not only here at Minnesota State University Mankato, but also in the system. What we have is currently about 3,300 majors in our college. We have around 185 full-time faculty. We have close to 150 graduate assistants, and we hire over 100 adjuncts from there. And within our college, we host a whole bunch of activities, and that's what Dean Brown asked me to come here to give you announcements as to some upcoming activities from here. Currently, there is a exhibition right now going in Conklin Gallery. So that's over there by Nelson Hall. And then coming up down in the CSU Gallery, we'll have another art exhibit there of some of the student artists. On September 19th, we will have our first artist visiting campus for our Good Thunder reading series. In addition, there are a bunch of music events coming on that are coming out of our Department of Performing Arts. Most of those music performances are over in the Halling Recital Hall over here on campus, or also often, I think, Madison East Square Mall there at Hooligans. And then the 2024-2025 season that our theater and dance programs put on, titled A Lovely Night, will be starting with Cabaret, which begins October 3rd. Those are all the fun things that I could think of this afternoon to announce to student government. I appreciate being moved up in the schedule here as I have a 13-year-old chocolate lab at home that likes to get fed at 5 o'clock. And when I get home at probably 4 o'clock, he's going to think I'm late. Or even if I get home today at 5:30, he's going to think I'm too late from there. Brigitte, I think, President, you said to open up for any questions?
Definitely. Are there any questions for Dean Panahan? Any questions? Senator Karki?
Thank you for your presentation today. I just wanted to get a quick statement on how you have been communicating the final exam policy to professors, because I know that communication gap has been a problem like across departments and colleges.
There was, through the meet and confer process last year, so there were several different opportunities that administration worked with faculty from there. But I also understand, being, again, someone who has been a faculty member here since 2009, currently still am an adjunct faculty member. I teach a Monday morning classroom for my doc program, that even though it goes through the meet confer process, there's always a better way of communicating, and such that an email went out earlier this week and I don't know if I received it as an admin or as a faculty member, but I know we've had conversations. In our college, we have 2 monthly meetings. The first Monday of every month, we have our department chairs meeting. So Dean Brown and I meet with our 11 department chairs. There's 12 because we have one department that's co-chairs. And then at the end of the month, the last Monday of the month, I run a HSS leadership team meeting in this room, where we have all of our academic units, all of our units report out to department chairs. So that's the way that we try to get information out. And then, like I said, for the final exam schedule, I knew that after it had been announced that there were some programs, some departments, some faculty had some concerns of that. So we have made announcements through, we have a top of the week, that's a thing that SBS used to do. But Arts and Humanities didn't give that many emails out from the dean's office, so we compromised. Now we do kind of top of every other week. So that's one way, and then just through interactions with department chairs as well as faculty, and we're trying to improve our communication on that.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Questions? See none. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, we'll move forward with open forum. Is there anyone here for open forum? Anyone here for open forum?
Hi all, my name is Anthony Bettendorf. I'm the new Director of Residential Life, and I just wanted to come and introduce myself and let you know that I'm really excited to work with you all, both student government. I'm working on some things with some other student orgs with RHA, so I look forward to working with you, and I just wanted to come and say hi and introduce myself. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer questions or talk to you all about anything at any point during the year. So,
Thank you. Is there anyone else for open forum? Anyone else for open forum? Seeing none, we'll move forward with vacancies. I want to do a roll call that we noted already. If your name says absent, just let me know. Senator Hart present, Senator Balogun present, Senator Swatson-Juber present, Senator MK present, Senator Ponte present, Senator Bungi present, Senator Maiga present, Senator Mpanga, present. Senator Dietrich, present. Senator Smith, absent. Senator Speltz, present. Senator Emmeline, present. Senator Moore, present. Senator Maba, present. Senator Parekh, absent. Senator Karki, present. Senator Riza, present. Senator Riggle, present. Senator Colleran, present. Senator Robertson, present. Speaker Andre, absent. Vice President Jay, present. President Mirola, present. If there are any errors to this attendance sheet, please let me know. We'll move forward with vacancies. The first vacancy that we have that we will call is Senator for College of Allied Health and Nursing. At this time, is there anyone in the gallery that is present for a senator application for College of Allied Health and Nursing? Anyone for Allied Health and Nursing? Seeing none, we'll move forward. There is a position open for Senator of College of Business. Is there anyone here for the College of Business? College of Business, seeing none, we'll move forward. There is a vacancy open for Senator of Residential Life. Is there anyone here present for Residential Life? We go forward. Is there anyone else for the senator position of Residential Life? Seeing none, we'll move forward with the election process. Here's how this will go. You will have 2 minutes of opening statements. Then the floor will open to senators for asking questions. Once we're done with questions, there will be an opportunity for you to give closing statements for 2 more minutes. Any questions?
No.
Alrighty, we'll get started. You have 2 minutes for your opening statement, ready whenever you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nolan Zelmer, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm a freshman this year at MSU. I am running for Residential Life Senator and majoring in Construction Management and Business Administration. I believe that being a freshman will give a unique perspective to student government. I'm a very outgoing person and see that as a benefit to student government, as I would like to help others join different committees and clubs. Some of you may have known my sister, Emma Zelmer, as she was the student body president here a few years ago. I am running for this position because I would like to have my voice heard and show future freshmen and current ones that we are also a part of this community and our ideas are valued. I have very good communication, time management, and leadership skills that would be a great asset to the Mankato student government. I also have a lot of great ideas I would like to bring and apply to MSU, like a campus building GPS, as navigating these different buildings can be very difficult at times. I'm currently a member of the Construction Management Club and would like to continue my involvement. I especially enjoyed the Welcome Week activities where I participated in volleyball, Choose-a-Palooza, and bingo. I would like to help other students get involved as well. As an incoming student, not knowing many people, I had a hard time building my confidence to talk to other students and found that the Welcome Week activities were somewhat scary, but a beneficial part to growing and meeting new people. I also did not hear much about student government as an option for freshmen, and if it wasn't for my sister, I would have never known. So I would like for student government to reach out more to our incoming students so they know the endless amounts of opportunities they have available. I also want to bring different events to MSU that not only help our campus, but our community as well. In my past, being a part of groups where I was able to work with people with special needs from my community was an essential part of giving back. I find that giving back to my community is an amazing and very mentally rewarding activity. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll open it up to any questions from the senators. I'll do 2 calls for questions. If you have any questions, please raise your placards and I'll write your name down in the order that I see them. Senator Bungi.
What work did you do with special needs?
So at my high school, we had an event called Night to Shine, which was a somewhat kind of prom event where we would invite people with special needs, ages 13, I believe, and up, where they would get an event where they were basically the main focus, and oftentimes they are often overlooked in our community and in our kind of stance. So being able to work with those students, get to know different people, was an amazing opportunity, and I love taking advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Senator Dietrich, followed by Senator Riggle.
You said your biggest concern is like a lack of connection and that you want to work to increase students' ability to make connections on campus, especially for freshmen. Do you have any plans to execute this?
Yes. So for my lack of connections, I would just say, going with the part that I had stated, that I don't have a lot of knowledge of many people here at Mankato. And a plan to kind of help involve more incoming students who may have been like me would be reaching out more to them personally, more than just an overall email sent to the entire campus, maybe saying a couple weeks in, hey, how is it going? How are your first weeks going? And half of them might not respond, and half of them are going to say it's very good. But maybe there's a small percentage that do need a little bit more connection help, and we can give that to them.
Thank you. Senator Riggle.
That's very similar to what my question is. I was gonna ask if you had any plans on reaching out to your constituency, because obviously they're, like right now, you're a freshman. A lot of the people living in the dorms are freshmen usually, and getting their concerns as a constituency.
So part of those events can definitely be hard, as some students like to kind of hide away in their dorms. And I think that for me personally, I'm the hall president, so I like to communicate through our group chat that we have set up, and also just going and knocking on doors every so often. I mean, if they don't answer, then they don't answer. But oftentimes I can often communicate with them and say, hey, how's it going for you? How are you enjoying these first couple weeks? What are you worried about? What are you nervous about? That kind of stuff.
Thank you. Vice President Jake.
So as a Res Life Senator, some of your constituency, although it may be a small group, may be transfer students, and if for their first semester at least, living on campus in order to try and maybe meet some new people here on campus coming from another campus. Do you have any ideas? I know you are a freshman like you said, but any ideas on maybe how to reach transfer students, as that is one of our focuses for the year?
Yes, kind of. So off the top of my head, I know that maybe asking them what did they like about their previous school that they had gone to, kind of trying to evolve Mankato by using other ideas and being open to that. And that's the first thing that will come off the top of my head, but I would like to work with all of you to further those ideas.
Thank you. Is there a follow-up question? Alrighty. Seeing no questions, we'll open it up to 2 minutes of closing statements from you.
So for my closing, I would just again like to thank all of you for this opportunity. I would like to thank my family, my sister, and my roommate for helping me prep for this. And also with some involvement that I'm involved with the Legislative Affairs Committee. And I would also like to get involved with the MAV, and like people that set up all the, all of the different events. So the events team here, I'd like to get involved with that and help with that. So thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. You can either choose to stay in the room or you can choose to leave while we enter into a discussion period. Alrighty, we'll get into discussions. I'll take notes of any points of discussions. Vice President Jake.
I think Nolan brings a really good point of he is going to have a unique perspective that a lot of us can't have as we are no longer freshmen. He's a freshman, obviously living on campus, coming from the dorm halls, is a direct access to that area of our university. Is gonna have new eyes coming in, but also has previous leadership experience to bring to the role, and I think those are really good qualities to have for this position.
Thank you. Senator MP.
I would just like to reiterate that I think with him living on the res halls and also like very briefly mentioning that he's the res hall president, I believe it was. I think that that's a massive point that was like, that might be overlooked, that he has major connections to most people within the residential hall, and he's likely going to be known amongst them so he can get people involved and out on campus.
Thank you. Senator Riggle.
I think he seems like he's really passionate and willing to go out of his way to be personable with his constituency. I know a lot of issues are like people don't like respond to emails or they don't go out of their way to like give us the feedback that we need, but I feel like he'd definitely be willing to go that extra step to figure out what the issues that people are facing and try his hardest to fix them. I think he seems really passionate about helping others.
Thank you. Senator Bungie.
I'd have to agree with that as well. He was very well spoken and he seems to enjoy doing work in his community, along with getting other freshmen in his dorm involved. I don't think a lot of people take that extra step, including knocking on doors just to meet people.
You, Senator Colorado.
I yield to you on stage, Vice President Day and Senator Powell.
Thank you. Seeing no other points of discussions, we will enter into voting. For those of you who are new, you can either vote yes, you can either vote no, or you can abstain. Like we reiterated, please refrain from abstaining unless you have a conflict of interest or you don't know the full information. John's gonna go around from that side, I'm gonna go around from over here. And then we do have someone on Zoom. If you want to send us your voting through private text over to me, I can take that.
I should have walked on for the golf, I played in high school. No, I was. Yeah.
Sweet. Jack's fresh, they're both fresh.
I played with Michael. Super good guy, yeah, good player as well.
No, just Mike. Trap lines.
We're just waiting on, if you just wanna stay up at the podium for just a quick second. Wait on. Alrighty, congratulations, we have had an election today. You've been elected to the position of Senator of Residential Life. If you wanna raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Nolan Zummer,
do hereby pledge
do hereby pledge
to support and serve
to support and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
in student life and academic needs,
in student life and academic needs,
and to uphold
and to uphold
the mission, constitution, and bylaws
the mission, constitution, and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
What was that?
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations, Senator. You can go ahead and take a seat at this table.
Can I grab my backpack real quick?
Sounds good.
You just have to sit at the table.
Yeah, I got it.
You just have to lean your back. Come on,
Yeah, no, this is.
it's just a table.
Alrighty, folks, we'll move forward. There is another vacancy for Senator, College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Is there anyone in the gallery here for College of Science, Engineering and Technology? Anyone here for Science, Engineering and Technology? Alrighty. There is another vacancy for Senator, College of Graduate Studies. Is there anyone in the gallery here for Senator, College of Graduate Studies? Right, if you wanna go up to the podium, if you wanna come up to the podium. Anyone else for College of Graduate Studies? Alrighty, if you wanna come up to the podium, all three of you. Thank you so much. Here's how this will go. We will have one of you give opening statements and then the other and then the other, and then we'll rotate in between the three of you for 2 minutes of opening statements. Each of you will get 2 minutes for your opening statements. Once we're done with that, the floor will open for questions from senators. We'll go around, and then you'll have 2 minutes of closing statements for each of you. We'll go around in between you to make sure there's a rotation at the order of which you state the answers or give opening and closing statements. Any questions before we go forward? Awesome. Whoever wants to go first.
I can go first.
Awesome. You have the floor for 2 minutes. Ready whenever you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna, and I'm originally from a small town in Iowa called Guthrie Center. I completed my undergraduate studies at Iowa State University, where I majored in women and gender studies and minored in criminal justice. I also taught dance for several semesters in a hip-hop club, which gave me a chance to combine creativity and leadership. Now I'm excited to be starting my first year in the Master of Science program in Gender and Women's Studies. During my time at Iowa State, I was actively involved in the IDEA Committee, Inclusivity, Diversity, Equity, and Accessibility within their student government. This experience was transformative for me as it allowed me to advocate for safe spaces for LGBTQIA+ students. As a candidate for Graduate Studies Senator, one of my main goals is to address the sense of isolation many graduate students face. Unlike undergraduates, we often find it difficult to engage within campus life due to pressures of balancing academic personal responsibilities. This can be especially challenging for students who are new to campus or who belong to marginalized communities, including LGBTQIA+ students. As your senator, I would advocate for organizing community events, networking opportunities, and workshops designed specifically for grad students here. These spaces would be inclusive, accessible, tailored to diverse students of these needs. I also want to establish a graduate student group focused on inclusion and accessibility, a platform where LGBTQIA students and allies can come together to support one another. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll have Kendra go second.
Sorry, I'm a little short. Good afternoon, elected members of the 92nd Student Government. My name is Kendra Drager. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a second-year graduate student pursuing my master's in biology. I did my undergraduate studies at Bemidji State University in cellular molecular biology, as well as minors in chemistry and political science. And at Bemidji State University, I had the opportunity to serve in multiple leadership roles, including being elected as a student body president. During my time as president and a senator in student government, I successfully advocated for a transportation system, menstrual equity, and sustainability initiatives, such as supporting the outdoor classroom project and permanent composting stations at the dining hall locations. I have 2 goals I would like to accomplish if elected. The first one, I want to work on increasing the on-campus graduate student work hour limit from 14 hours per week to 20 hours per week. To do this, I would work with the Legislative Affairs Committee as well as Students United to advocate for the state statute language change. Secondly, I would like to see graduate student stipends increased. In 2003, graduate stipends were $4,000 per semester. Currently, the stipend is $5,000 per semester. By increasing the stipend, our graduate programs can be more appealing to prospective students and increase graduate student enrollment and hopefully retention. With my leadership experience and set goals, I believe I'm a strong candidate to represent the College of Graduate Studies for the student government. I am really excited for this opportunity today, and if I were elected, I really do look forward to working together with all of you and collaborating on different projects and priorities you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You should go next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Moshood Agbola, originally from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm an international student. My first semester as a graduate student. Um, I'm doing physiology, exercise physiology. So I did my undergrad at Southwest Minnesota State University. I double majored in biology and exercise science with minor in political science, health communication, strength and conditioning, and nutrition. Um, that said, sorry. So I believe that advocacy and teamwork is the strength that unites unions and our communities and helping them achieve their collective goals and objectives. Additionally, I am a passionate community wellness promoter as based on my background in physical education, exercise science, and fitness specialty. I'm a one-on-one soccer instructor, and I'm a fitness specialist. As I mentioned, I'm dedicated to promoting health and wellness throughout my work and on our campuses. My long-term goal is to serve personally at the United Nations or the World Health Organizations as an active voice for the promotion of physical activities and fitness program, advocating for their use as effective solutions to physiological and physical challenges in communities worldwide. However, how does that apply to college campuses? Sometimes, majority of our focuses are on things that we have committees for. But my goal as a new senator or potential senators is, to focus on the physiological and physical uh, plan that we have for our fellow student. Like, what are the things that are in place that will help enhance our physical wellness on campus, or what are the programs we can bring, we can initiate that will help our student on campus. And regarding the grad school, as one of the candidate mentioned, and which I already have here as well, is that most grad students are not, or they feel isolated, or are not inclusive when it comes to like student leadership on campus. And that said, my second goal is to make sure that grad students feel included in decision making on campus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, we'll open it up to any questions. We'll have Kendra answer the question first. Any questions for the three candidates? We want to make sure that we remain equitable as we ask questions. So any questions that you ask, please ask it in general to all three of the candidates. Any questions? Senator Emmeline?
Being graduate students, how do you plan to really balance your life and avoid burning out?
That's actually a really good question. So I've had a year of graduate school under my belt, so I can speak at least from my personal experience. I think that time management has been really efficient, definitely planning out, okay, when am I going to teach? I have a teaching assistantship, so when am I going to teach? Plan that out, plan my classes, making sure that I'm not getting too involved, but also involved enough. So definitely being well-rounded, using my academic calendar, using my planner, using my resources, definitely like keeping that like all like well-rounded, I'd say, and using my time efficiently as possible. I hope that answered your question.
Have Brianna go second.
I would say definitely the sense of community in my cohort has helped me a lot. And just getting to know everybody in the first and second year cohort has been really helpful. We have a group chat. We are very supportive of each other. We're all really good friends. And I would just say having an outlet. I like to dance and be creative, so I think that's really helpful for me at least. And I would just say not being afraid to ask for help, especially as a grad student. I think sometimes we are kind of expected to know it all because we have that undergraduate experience under our belt. But yeah, being a first year, I think the sense of community with my own cohort has helped a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Mashoud go next.
That was actually a great question. And I served on the Student Senate at Southwest for 4 consecutive years, among other leadership roles, including serving as the only student and the first international student on the Athletic Advisory Committee on SMSU campus. One of the things that we initiated that I kind of championed with other student leaders was creating a mental and physical wellness program for student leaders on campus. So as part of the things that on my agenda, potential agenda, student senator that I mentioned earlier, is to create like some certain initiative, like the student senators or the group of student leaders. Let's create this program. Like, okay, we have 30 minutes or some time just to do some mental wellness training that will help everybody enhance, because we gotta find a balance. You know, we lead, we help people in our communities, but what about ourselves? So one of the things we did that, you know, we initiated a program. We create like a pamphlet or brochures where we handed out, we championed it as student senators. So we handed out brochures to students, not just student leaders, but all the student campus wide. And even some staff benefited from it. So we listed in those pamphlets and the brochures how to manage their mental health, mental health, the kind of activities they can do in their offices, the kind of alternative they can switch, like maybe not using like this traditional chairs and using the Bosu balls, you know. So those are some of the things I've done while I was serving as a student senators for 4 consecutive years, and among other leadership role in the including committee members. I hope that answered the question. Okay.
Thank you. We'll have Mashoud answer first. Senator Colleran.
Motion to limit the speakers list.
There is a motion to limit the speakers list by count.
By everyone being called on.
Yeah, definitely. There will be a call for limiting the motions list. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Is there anyone objecting to that motion? Alrighty, seeing.
Can you explain what that means to those who may not understand?
Definitely. Senator Colleran, do you wanna? I can go ahead and do it. Senator Colleran has made a motion to limit the speakers list through a call of the speakers list. I will make a call, I will take a list, and then it will be restricted to only that list of senators to ask those questions. So if you have a question, raise your placard right now and I'll take those motions. If not, we'll restrict it and then we'll move on from this vacancy election. That is the motion. We haven't voted on it yet, or if there are any objections, you can make those known here and then we can enter into a voting for that motion. If there is no objections to that motion, assuming unanimous consent, we will move forward with that motion. So I will make a call one more time for any objections to that motion or any questions, points of information. Seeing none, we're limiting the list. I have Senator Colleran, Senator Dietrich. If you have any questions, please raise your placard now and then we will restrict the list. Senator Maega, Senator Kargi. Senator Colleran, Senator Dietrich, Senator Maega, Senator Kargi.
If you don't have a placard, raise something.
Raise your hand. Alrighty, we'll move forward. Senator Colleran.
Okay.
Mashoud's gonna answer first.
So as the graduate studies senator, you'd be recommended and required to attend the academic affairs committee. that committee meets every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Would you be able to go to that? Would you be able to go to that committee?
Every Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Wednesday is probably one of the days that I have the most times. As far as my schedule is concerned, yeah, that won't be a problem.
Thank you. We'll have Kendra go second.
So unfortunately, I have a class from 2 to 3:40 on Wednesdays, but I am open and very willing to schedule like one-on-one meetings with you, Andrew, because you're the academic affairs coordinator. So I'm willing to take that time and reschedule to what works with your schedule to talk about any updates that were brought to the committee, anything that you need me to do, and definitely working on that so then I can still stay informed and also so I can give updates as well. I'm willing to be very flexible with that.
Thank you. Brianna?
Yes, I am available to attend that. Wednesdays are my most open day, so I'm very flexible.
Thank you so much. We'll have you stay right there at the podium, Brianna. Senator Dietrich.
Alright. So we've already heard about like what concerns you feel are affecting your constituency and what initiatives you would take as a graduate studies senator. But obviously we can only elect one of you. If you, what about your initiatives do you need to be the senator for graduate studies? How will being that senator help you with your initiatives in the sense that you wouldn't be able to do them without being the graduate studies senator?
Yeah, I would say that having this position and being a graduate student of gender and women's studies, I think there's a lot of room for growth in that area all throughout campus. And I just think having this position would really help bring those issues to light and also help my own department and my own cohort in their issues that they have as well.
Thank you. We'll have Kendra go second.
So my two initiatives, they aren't just directly for the biological sciences program, they affect all graduate students. So I think having a seat at the table in student government will shed light to all graduate students and not just my singular program. And I think the resources that student government has, like with the connections with Students United, the Legislative Affairs Committee, the connections with the President's office and other administration, that will definitely help building those connections and retaining those relationships that I don't think I would necessarily have if I weren't a senator. So I feel like being a graduate studies senator would definitely help with that because it would benefit all graduate students no matter what program they're in. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much. We'll have Mushood.
Based on past experience, it's gonna be two initiative, and I'm gonna use a model I used in the past. The first one was when I was running for the international student president at Southwest. So we noticed that Ethiopian students, they feel isolated, like they are not included in decision making, decision making. So, and I was running for the international student president then. So I went out of my way. I met with this new student. We talk about their experiences, what they've done in the past, and what they are looking forward to, what they're excited about. And guess what? Because I was the only one running, nobody was running for vice, secretary, and all those. I had like 3 of them walk up to me after I was elected as a international student president, and they said they were interested. So on my board alone, I eventually had 4 Ethiopian students. So going out of my way, speaking with these people was successful. The second one was student outlets. So student outlets, we noticed that they don't get involved in student government on our campus. So what we did was, we created a program where, we have them do like with IAC, Athletic Advisory Committee, like they recommend each sport team, they have each representative to serve on several student government committees, and that was successful as well. So how will that model be used here? With as I said, my primary focus is physical health and wellness program on campus. And speaking from experience, the program is not just limited to grad students. We all need our physical and mental health at all costs at every time. So this applies to all students, regardless of your, either your undergrad or grad school program. So I'm gonna go out of my way with other, interested student leaders. We're gonna work with faculty members to initiate those programs to make it accessible to everybody.
Thank you. Alrighty, Senator Maika, we'll have Kendra go first.
So you already mentioned the concerns that you found on campus. So I would like to know, what do you believe is the most pressing issue that the College of Graduate Studies is facing that you want to work on as a graduate senator? And how do you plan to address those issues?
Yes, so in my opening statement and from the application materials you provided, you know that my top two issues for like graduate studies as a whole is the 14-hour work week limit and then the graduate student stipends, but also I think another initiative that I would like to see is like a mentorship program between first and second year grad students, and sometimes there's even grad students who are in a third or fourth year depending on their program. But I think that would also be a really good initiative to get started, is some sort of mentorship program. I know when I started last year, I didn't know anyone besides the new group of grad students coming in, but then thankfully I'm in a research lab, so there was a senior graduate student there. She was basically my mentor through everything. She's in her PhD program, and now I still text her, be like, hey, where's this, or what do I do for this? So I think definitely having a mentorship program along with the two financial needs for graduate students would probably be like the biggest thing to work on.
Thank you. We'll have Brianna go second.
Hi, so in my opening statement, I mentioned more inclusive spaces for marginalized groups and LGBTQIA plus students. And I think that a lot more networking, like mixers, different classes, Zumba classes, volleyball tournaments, just different fun activities like that would definitely open the floor to more conversation and community building with grad students. Like you mentioned, I didn't know anyone when I first came here, so I think the sense of community is really important to me, and that's my top priority. Thank you.
To answer your question, there is strength in unity. Working with the faculty members and students that are already on campus, as new grad students, getting resource from them is going to be really important. Secondly, one of the initiative, that will help, some of the grad students, some of them already serve in leadership position. They've done all this thing in their undergrad. So most of grad students, they're either like GAs, TAs, or working full time. But imagine a student government president in their undergrad now serving like on the MAV event team. There's so much that we can get from grad students, but because they are not included, not that they are not included, but they don't get involved in this thing, so we can't get the benefit from their experiences. So if there's a program, we can initiate this program, get them involved with different program, different clubs and organizations, use their benefit from their experience from during their undergrad years. So that way, it's a win-win. We are getting something from their experiences, and also they are also benefiting from the resources that is being provided to them.
Thank you so much. Mushik, we'll have you stay and answer the question first from Senator Karki.
Okay. I don't like doing this, but we see three very strong candidates over here. You're all hearing each other's ideas and stuff as well. So I want you to highlight one thing in your application or something you haven't mentioned yet that you can bring to the table as an exception and contribute to the Senate.
In order to reiterate your question, like what makes me stand out among the three candidates, if I get that question correctly, I mean, I would say my experience I've been serving a student leadership role from since when I was in middle school, and as a so it's been a stepping stone for me. And as I said, my long-term role, I'm not stopping now. This is like me just getting started because I see myself working for the United Nations because there are a lot of things that have been left out regarding like physical wellness and how it's been managed globally. So this is like a stepping stone for me. I've served in multiple leadership roles. I've worked with, faculty members. I've worked with, Student United. I serve as the state treasurer for Student United. I've worked with, at the policy committee, where we work with the system faculty members. And yeah, I would say my experience and also going out of my way, talking to people, meeting people, discussing, getting data from them. I really value data a lot. So I like going out of my way, collecting information, getting data, then presenting it to fellow student leaders, and we work on fact, not just on opinion. So we get opinion, which is good, but we get data to assess what the problem is. Then we come to a solution. So my experience and also going out of my way to get data that would be good for assessment and coming up with a solution to problems. Thanks.
We'll have Kendra go second.
So I'm not going to say my leadership experience because I feel like we all have very strong leadership experience, but I think something that stands out in my application, I'm going to unfortunately highlight my weakness, which is asking for help. I like to do things independently. I like to solve problems. And that's one thing that that really helped me in my undergrad was student government because I was forced to work with a group of people and we all had like different opinions, different values, different mindsets, and we all came from different experiences. So with that and now going into the graduate program, definitely leaning on having to ask for help because we're kind of in almost the same boat as a first year student because most of us are going to new campuses and new schools, so we don't really know where everything is, who everyone is. So asking for help has been a weakness, but it's now a really good growing point for me. So I think that kind of stands out a little bit more than everything else on my application. Yes, it's like great and wonderful, but I think highlighting that weakness and showing that I'm willing to be open, and I'm usually a very extroverted person once you get to know me, but definitely highlighting that and asking for help, which I feel like I could come to anybody in this room or at this table and ask for help when needed. So I'm gonna end on that note.
Thank you. Brianna.
Okay, so as you know, I am a gender and women's studies student. And I would say that just that being my major is a major like community building aspect that I have, learning from many different people of marginalized groups in my undergraduate studies courses in women and gender studies and criminal justice. That really helped me bring kind of different ideas from all different kinds of people with all different kinds of experiences. I was a part of the Tri Iota Women and Gender Studies Honor Society and the Tau Sigma Honor Society for transfer students. So I just think being on those honor societies and working to create a more inclusive campus at Iowa State too, through the IDEA committee for their student government was definitely a big highlight in my undergraduate experience too. So thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll have you stay at the podium for your 2 minutes of closing statements. Ready whenever you are.
I would just like to thank all of you for your time. Thank you for your questions and allowing me to share my experiences. And I am very excited to be appointed to the Bias Incident and Advisory Team and the President's Commission for Women Committee. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll have Mashut go second.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for all you do for our fellow students. And also, thanks for the appointment on the couple of campus-wide committees. As I mentioned during the questioning, my experiences make me stand out, and a lot of things that I've done, and yeah, it's been a roller, like a consistent stepping stone for me, serving as a leadership role within different communities, international, domestic, exercise science club, biology club, whatnot, and now as a graduate student, so representing my fellow graduate student and bringing them to the table so that we can get from their experiences as well as initiating physical community wellness program for our fellow student, which indirectly help with mental health wellness program. So that is all I have, and thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We'll have Kendra go through.
So I want to start this off by thanking everyone here at the table. I know this is being turned into a very long meeting because there's 3 of us, but it's not like budget season. So, but I really do appreciate all the work that you have all been putting in, even just 3 weeks into the semester. I know it's been a lot, and I know that some of you or most of you have put in work over the summer too and continued work from last year to this year. So I just want to say that I'm very grateful and very appreciative of everything that you've done so far, and just to let new folks come on in as well. I think that being a second year graduate student, I can definitely provide insight and knowledge into the overall graduate program. I hope to become a mentor for incoming graduate students. I know that I was asked to mentor the incoming cohort for the biological sciences department, so I've gotten that opportunity, but I'm hoping to spread my wings and feelers and get out to other areas and communities as well to become that mentor and to become that advocate and that voice for all of those students. So thank you and good night.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Alrighty, you have the opportunity of staying either in the room or you can choose to go outside while we all enter into a session of discussion. It is entirely up to you. Vice President Jay, is that a motion? Oh, okay. We'll open it up for any points of discussions. At this point, I'll take a name for points of discussions from senators. Senator Moore, Senator Zelmer. Get to say that every day. Senator Rickle, Senator Spelt, Senator Bongi, I'm sorry. I'll make sure I get it by the next meeting.
It's bug knee.
Bug knee?
Yeah, like bug
Thank
on
you.
your knee, yeah.
Thank you. That's good to know, thank you. Vice President Jay. Senator Moore.
Yeah, I think they all have a really strong background, but I think at least from what like this, I think Kendra's goals are sort of more in line with what Senator Grant Studies is, because I feel like it's something that's been talked about before, especially the hours thing, and I think it's something that's applicable to sort of all grad students.
Yeah, is that a
Point of information?
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, if someone before you says what you were planning to say or something similar, you can yield to redundancy so that you are not saying the exact same thing over again and it just kind of quickens things along. So if someone does say something, feel free when you are called on to say yield to redundancy to so and so.
Thank you, Vice President Jay. Senator Zelmer.
I would like to pick out the fact that for something that stood out for me was Kendra kind of putting her weaknesses out as a show for all of us. Having that confidence stood out to me where I don't know if I would even have the confidence to say one thing that I would like to point out is that my weaknesses are something that I need to work on and being honest with those. And that was something that I thought was very interesting.
Thank you. Senator Riggle.
I think they're all very, very good candidates, but I think I liked Kendra's very clear plans and very clear ideas of what she wants to do with this position and what she plans to do for the future. And I thought all of her answers were very clear and concise, without dancing around the issue too much. So that's my opinion.
Thank you. Senator Speltz.
I'm going to yield to redundancy to all three before.
Thank you so much. Senator Bongi. Did I say it right?
No.
Bongi.
That's it.
Bongi.
I think they were all very qualified candidates. One thing that stood out with Mashoud was the fact that he's from Lagos, Nigeria. Being from a different country and having friends from a different country, I think it highlights a lot that he came here to speak. I've talked to my friends from different countries and I don't think any of them would want to come up here and do that. So I think that was very brave of him.
Thank you so much, Vice President Che.
Yield to redundancy to all.
Alrighty, are there any other points of discussion? Senator Kaki.
I definitely agree that all three were extremely strong candidates. I also really liked Mashoud's interest in advocacy and just being ready to speak out there. I also really liked Brianna's readiness to come out and speak. When she is a freshman, she's still looking for help and being willing to provide that help to others already. But I do believe that for College of Graduate Studies, Kendra's experiences, both with leadership and with her experiences within graduate school, kind of highlights her as a better candidate in this scenario.
Alrighty, thank you. Vice President Che.
Call to order.
Alrighty, there's a motion to call the question. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. To those of you new at this table, there is a motion to call to question. When there's a motion for calling to question, whatever is being discussed upon is brought to voting now. Since we are discussing about electing the candidates, that will be brought into voting immediately. I will look for any dissents at the table. Any dissents for the motion? Seeing none, assuming unanimous consent, that is so adopted. You have 3 candidates and 4 voting options. You can either vote for Kendra, Mashoud, or for Brianna in your ballots, or you can choose to abstain. John.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, whichever you are. Procedurally for the Senate, just to know, this requires, the election of a new senator requires a majority vote of those voting, not a plurality. So what that means is that however many are here, half plus 1 is what it takes to elect somebody. If we don't have that, the lowest vote getter will be dropped and you will move immediately into another vote. Okay?
Another thing to add is you all have the opportunity to invite the candidates again for a second round of questioning before we go into discussions if you choose to do so. We can enter into discussions without inviting the candidates, or we can choose to do so by inviting the candidates, asking them further questions and doing so forth.
Or you can just vote again.
Yeah.
That's a great number.
Yeah, just have them go up right now. Yeah, I wish we could like. They're not eligible.
Have you go up there like you're taking the oath again, and Rebecca's gonna take your picture. All right. Todd was gonna get out of the way, so just go up there like you're being sworn again. We got it.
Smile big,
What's your picture?
Great job, thank you.
Somebody who voted yes want to claim it and re-vote.
You need to vote for a name, not a yes or a no.
A name.
The name is on our side.
Got it.
Perfect.
And then there should be a vote on Zoom. If you wanna send me a direct message, I can get back to my table and take a look.
captured for them, that was so funny. It's gonna be Oh, yeah, no, I would just tell you. You use that to blue still express. Oh, no, you're good. Oh, yeah. You're just so funny, you little hee Yeah, but you need, yeah, also show you.
Well, there's an outline for elections. Okay, yeah, no, elections are all done. We'll, oh my god. It's okay.
I got one, it was on the roster too.
You go for the roster.
Oh, okay, okay, count.
Run away. Take 2 seconds. Do that or you'll be stopped.
Whoa, alrighty.
Might be better.
Stuck.
Just a second, we're waiting on.
Hey, Russia, did you get my phone?
We did, and we have recorded it. Thank you.
Paying attention.
Alrighty.
The email from today.
Thank you so much. If all three of you want to come in front to the podium. I just want to go ahead and acknowledge that there are other opportunities for you to be involved in student government. I know all three of you are involved in one capacity or the other, and I want to thank you all for your representation for all of our students and for coming in today to this election. With that being said, I also want to emphasize that there is only one seat and three of you. I don't want you to feel discouraged if this election does not go your way, and I hope that you'll continue to help and support our students in any capacity that you think fit. With that being said, congratulations, we have had an election today. Kendra, you have been elected to the position of graduate studies. Congratulations. If you want to come up to the podium, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kendra Drager,
Do hereby pledge
do hereby pledge
to represent and serve
to represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
in student life and academic needs,
in student life and academic needs,
and to uphold
and to uphold
the mission, constitution, and bylaws
the mission, constitution, and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations, Senator. You're welcome to take a seat at this table. We will move forward with the consent agenda over to new business. There is no new business. We'll move forward to old business to bylaw amendment. At the bylaw amendment, since I did motion the amendment, I will speak on it a little bit, even though I don't get to vote on it. If you open up the Word document that has been shared to you today, there have been amendments made to the original document. All of the amendments that have been made have been highlighted in blue, so you can take a look at it. There have been texts that have been deleted out, and there have been texts that have been deleted out and then moved into other sections that have been highlighted in blue in the document that has been shared through email to you today. The intent of this resolution, to those of you who are new at this table, is to formally establish and protect a sustainability coordinator that we had intended when we established a sustainability fee last year. This resolution aims at protecting it through the Constitution. There had been questions about if this position was a cabinet level position or not. And having conversations with some of you at this table, I felt it best if we do not add it to the president's cabinet as of yet. In the future, if presidents seem appropriate that this position deems eligible to be a coordinator position in the president's cabinet, they can make those amendments as is. But for now, we've opened the section up to say coordinator, specifically sustainability coordinator, can still go ahead and attend the presidential cabinet meetings, update and provide feedbacks, insight, get more feedbacks from other coordinators within the president's cabinet. Alrighty, we will then open it up to questions for the amendment first. Any questions for the amendment? Any discussion points on the amendment? Seeing none, we'll move into voting of the amendment. This is not the voting of the resolution as a whole. All of those in favor of the amendment to the bylaw resolution, please raise your placards or your hands. All of those opposed, please lower it. All of those opposed, please raise your placards and raise them high. All of those opposed, all of those abstaining, please raise your placards. We're working on adding 2 of you that are elected today to the Teams chat as we speak. Alrighty, the amendment is so adopted. We'll move forward with questions or discussion points on the resolution as a whole. Any questions?
Yeah, you should both be added to the teams.
So if you wanna go into Teams. Just a second, if you don't see that document yet, look at a monitor of a senator right next to you, cause they might have that document open that was sent from the agenda earlier today. Awesome, we'll take any discussion points or questions on the bylaw amendment as a whole. Senator Hart or Spells?
It's me. I didn't bring my flag.
It's okay. Senator Spells, any other questions, discussion points? Senator Drager. Other Senator Spells.
Okay, so just to make it clear or whatever, the stipend is going to be exclusively from the sustainability fee category, and then it will just continue like that throughout the years.
Correct. Okay. To expand a little bit more on that, this is not coming out of student activity fees. It has been designed in a way where it is allocated in the sustainability fee that we had created earlier last year. And it will not impact student fees. It will impact sustainability fees, but student fees in general, yes. So that might provide clarifications. If there are any follow-ups, questions, please ask those as well. We'll move on to Senator Drager.
So with the item amendment 4 with that article, I don't know my Roman numerals, but section 13 with the Sustainability Fee Advisory Committee, has that been formed yet? Or when is that going to start?
I can talk about that. That committee has been formed as of last year. We had made no appointments to that committee because it was the Senate Budget Committee that took on the responsibilities of that committee for last year. For this year, we will be officially appointing members to that committee. That coordinator will be forming governing documents, will be forming fee recommendations. All of those responsibilities were taken up by the Senate Budget Committee as of last year. But for this year, we'll make those student appointments to that committee. Does that answer your question? Any other questions or discussion points? Any discussion points? Seeing none, we will move into voting. All those in favor of the bylaw amendment resolution, please raise your placards. All those opposed, please raise your placards. All those abstaining, please raise your placards. Alrighty, with a vote of 18 to 1, this resolution is so adopted. We will move forward with our consent agenda over and back to officer reports. Alrighty, let me get all of this in order. Alrighty, folks, we have had 2 elections today and it's exciting. I also want to share with you what we have in our consent agenda today. If you take a look up and down the consent agenda, you will see names that are traditionally not familiar or names that you probably have never heard of. I want to thank everyone who showed up to tabling and were doing a lot of outreach opportunities for students. It is a result of all of you engaging with the students that we have so many opportunities of appointing students to different committees, commissions, and boards. So I hope you'll continue engaging with students, reach out to us with any questions, ask us for any appointments. To those of you who are new at this table, know that you are appointed to one other committee outside of academic and student affairs. If you cannot make it to academic and student affairs because of class conflicts or anything, you are required to serve on 2 committees through student government appointments. Reach out to me to talk about those committee appointments and we can set something up for you depending on the appointments that we need to fill out and your interests. Last week, I also had the opportunity to meet with the expanded cabinet along with Vice President Jay. We received updates from all of our coordinators. They will be reaching out to all of you. I know we are seeking representation in DEI committee, basic needs, legislative affairs. They're doing some amazing projects for this semester and they're looking at convening their committee sometime this week or the next. So those of you who have been appointed to that committee, they'll be reaching out to you. Those of you who are interested, reach out to me and I can help connect you with the coordinators of those committees and the chairs, so that way you can help join in on discussions that happen in that committee and help out with projects that could be projects that you take on as your senator project. Last Thursday, we had meet and confer, and I'll have Vice President Jay expand on some of the bullet points later on in their review. Saturday, we also had game day. I'm really excited to share that we had the 3rd largest crowd in Blakesley, the largest crowd for opening home game from what I'm hearing. And from what our records tell us, to those of you who were there out handing out t-shirts, we gave out 950 t-shirts to current students that day. So that's a really exciting milestone. We had a great turnout. To those of you who were there, you might know the home side was all packed and we had Mavericks go to the other side. So that was really exciting. And it was a good game. But thank you to everyone who came and helped out. I know one of you who's at this table, I won't call you out, texted me late at night asking if it's okay to come up. I think it's really exciting that all of you are engaging with us and reaching out, engaging with us. I hope you keep up that momentum and grow with it. Earlier this week, Vice President Jay, I, and two of our library liaisons had lunch with Dean Corley and his team at the library. Some updates on communications of concerns that we'd relayed last semester. We had talked with Dean Corley about the opportunity of expanding laptop rentals and having a temporary laptop rental. I know one of the concerns that students have is laptop rentals go out pretty quick. And sometimes in the middle of a semester, students don't have the opportunity of renting out laptops. So we had talked with him about a possible opportunity of keeping temporary laptops on retainer that students can go in, check out temporarily for like a week or two at the middle of a semester. So that way, when they're all out of laptops, there's still some temporary laptops that students are able to rent out for emergency purposes. Those have been rolled out, and it looks like all temporary laptop rentals have also been checked out, but students would have to return those laptops and they'd have to check it out again if they want to check those out for another limited time. For online students, for commuter students who are looking into coming in person at the library, checking out some physical copies of textbooks, library has updated their websites, so that way students can look online, take a look at which books are available in real time, and then come in and check those books out. They've also looked at expanding their online presence, so that way students don't need to come in person and get those physical books. Other updates will be shared by Vice President Jay. There was also budget submeet yesterday. The university overall, while it is looking at a deficit, what this body did last year was we decided on not pulling money out from student fees. So that way, student fee reserves aren't impacted as much. We'll get into these conversations as we go into spring semester, because one of your big responsibilities is to make a recommendation of the student fees as a whole. I hope you consider these, keep these in mind as we go into budget conversations later on this semester and then fully into next semester. Other update that I have for you from Budget Submeet, Vice President Gillespie did an amazing idea of having open guests for Budget Submeet. It's kind of like how we have guests here in student government. You're able to go in, hear about some of the conversations that have happened. And so if you are interested in those, if those meeting times work out for you, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation about it, and we can see if we can invite you and have you come hear about budget conversations at Budget Submeet. The other piece of update that I have for you is Mavericks Lead the Vote that is coming up next Tuesday. I know I've sent out a text message over Teams. I don't know if you all had the opportunity to take a look at it, but next Tuesday is voter registration day, and we're doing Mavericks Lead the Vote registration drive. There are two stations or two shifts, one from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then the other from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. There are opportunities to sign up on Mav Central, but I'll also do a sign up sheet that's gonna go out and across the table. If you are free for all of it, definitely sign up. You can help Canvas reach out to different doors. They'll do door knocking so that way they can go and hang door tags, help get the word out for voting. Even if you are not voting this year, if you're not eligible to vote, it's definitely helpful to volunteer and get the word out to vote. It's really important that those of you who can vote should go out and vote. So if you are available, sign up in this sheet, go into Teams, go into the Mav Central link, sign up over there. But we want you to get involved. We want you to get the word out so there are more students helping out with this initiative. I'll have this sign up sheet go around. If you are free for just a period of it, write down what time you're available so that way you can help out with tabling, if not with helping out going door knockings. The other update that I have for you, Students United is on campus next Wednesday. They'll be doing tabling from 11:30 to 1 p.m. So yeah, 11:30 to 1 p.m. Definitely stop by their table over at CSU. They'll stop by student government meeting to provide you updates, introduce themselves about who they are, and ask any relevant questions that you might have. Another piece of update for those of you who want parking right next to CSU for student government meetings exclusively. This would only work from Wednesdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. If you would like those parking accesses so you can attend committee meetings and student government meetings, stop by the office, let Amber know she can give you a parking pass that you can hang, and make sure that you don't get ticketed because ticket prices have gone up this year. The other piece of update that I want to share with you, we're going into the semester, we're rolling with our projects that we have. Our coordinators are working on different projects and I want you all to focus on different projects that you want to do. Reach out with your friends, other academic senators that you might have, other student life senators. Think about projects that you want to do. I know some of you at this table have already scheduled one-on-ones with me. I've taken a look at my calendar to those of you who have reached out, but we'll also reach out to you to schedule one-on-one meetings with you if we don't do that within the next couple of weeks. But reach out to your students, start thinking about your senator projects, think about how you can drive engagement within your student body. Think about all students that are within your colleges, whether those are online only students, commuter students, academic students, all different kinds of students, and think about how you can engage with them and share with them different updates that we provide to you or you get from other different resources. And I'll take it over to Vice President Che before I come back.
Hi guys, welcome back to Senate. Thanks for being here today. I know it's long, so I'm gonna keep this as short as possible. As President Rochette touched on earlier, we went to meet and confer late last week. Biggest things that we heard from VP Morris. He is the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here on campus. He's actually going to come speak at student government in October to continue speaking with us about the newest updates on our Equity 2030 plan and the newest initiative of DIE, which is Moonshot for Equity, to just give us overall updates on those. VP Hood gave us updates on academic affairs positions, and getting all of those filled. It sounds like from what I remember that all of those positions have been filled, which is great. VP Veltos talked to us about HLC accreditation. So that is the university's accreditation, making sure that we are an accredited campus, which is very important, along with policy review that happens every few years with the various university policies. There is already a policy review committee that has been started. Some senators have been elected to that as well as other students. So that has already been started, which is also good that they are getting kind of a head start on that. And then lastly, the biggest thing was digital accessibility. We had Michelle Moosley and Corinne Amol come talk to us. They are doing a lot of initiatives on making sure both the university website and other websites that are connected to the university are becoming more digitally accessible. They showed us various programs that they're using, so that was really interesting, and they're hoping to bring those to student groups and other groups across campus to make sure all of their platforms are working toward better accessibility for digital spaces. Rochette talked about the library meeting with Dean Corley. We are continuing to work with them. If you are interested on being on the library committee, affordable and accessible resources committee, there's a few of those. If you have any interest in anything surrounding that, please come tell Rochette and I so that we can get you on those committees so you can serve students in that area. For vacancy updates, after elections today, we still have 3 College of Allied Health and Nursing spots open, one for the College of Business, one for the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, and one for Residential Life. If you know anybody that is interested, I am sending you all right now on Teams. I just sent a message, the links to the Senate vacancy form and the committee interest form. If you know anyone that is either interested in Senate or committee, have them fill those out so that then we can reach out to them and move forward with that. So that way you all have those links right where you need them. Last couple things, senator projects, I've heard from a decent amount of you, thank you so much. I believe I've reached out to all of you besides the ones that texted me today about that. New senators, I will be reaching out to you to do some senator onboarding, just give you a better understanding of what all being a senator entails and everything like that. And through that, then we will also speak on senator projects, so those make more sense to you. And then my last thing, last night I went and revamped Teams because there was a lot of really super confusing stuff on Teams. Everything that was on Teams is still on Teams. It is now just in the archived folder. So if there are things that you have added or you have been looking at for some time, it's still there. It's just now in the archive folder that you will have to dig through. Sorry about that, but it was just super confusing. So on Teams, under the Senate section on files, you can go see the 90-second Senate meeting documents. Those are typically all the documents we use. And like the meeting minutes, those will all be found in that folder. Meeting notes, that will actually be meeting minutes, sorry. Yep, that will be just meeting minutes. And then the meeting documents is like all the other random things. Senate resolutions, that will house all of the amendments and resolutions we talk about and do throughout the year. Onboarding docs, that is for anyone to go back into that original document I gave you all so that you all still have it, as well as I will be adding a few new things for the new senators. Obviously there is that archived folder. There is an elections folder that will have previous candidate information as well as election procedure in that. Students United, that is all about Students United. Some of you are like, what is Students United? Students United is pretty much the state level student government. I'm gonna pass it to Kendra for just like 30 seconds to kind of speak on Students United because I don't really even know everything that they do. So, Kendra.
Cool. So the reason why VPJ passed on to me, I was a board member for Students United for 2 years, and last year I served as a treasurer. So if some of you recognize me from that, that's why. So Students United is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that represents the 7 Minnesota state universities at the system, state and federal level. So the system is at the min-state level, so like Chancellor Olson, and then states like our state representatives, and then federal like federal representatives. And this year, President Nurala is serving as the board member, so our liaison to Students United. So if you have any initiatives that could be like statewide or system-wide or federal-wide, you can bring it up to them. One thing that you might know, menstrual equity was a big thing that passed like 2 years ago. I was able to bring that to Students United. They passed it, so that's like one example of something how that can get done. But they're really good at getting connections if you hope to work in either higher ed or work at like the state legislature, House or Senate. Like for example, former student body president Emma Zelmer is now working at the state Senate. So there's very good opportunities and connections and growth from there if you're interested in that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kendra, for that explanation. So yeah, if you have anything that you would like to add to Teams, you can send it to one of us and we can make sure it gets in the right Teams folder, or we can create new Teams folders. This was mainly done just because there is so much on Teams, which is very needed. It was just really hard to find things. So if you have any questions on that, please feel free to come to me. I have really dug through it as much as possible. So that is my last update. Any questions on anything that I talked about? New senators, I will be reaching out to you to find some times to speak with you guys, just to get things rolling there. Awesome, back to Roshan.
Any questions for either of us? Seeing none, There's two final things that I wanna talk about before we move forward with the consent agenda. The first thing that I wanna send out is senator reports. All of you are required to give 2 senator reports every semester. This can include, in the past, this has included a written report as well, but we'll be doing oral reports to hear what you're up to. That will be an opportunity for you to share what you are doing for your project. Not things that you've planned to do, not things that are on the back burner or things that are in your priority queue that you will get to eventually, but things that you've been actively doing towards your project. This can also be representations and updates that you have from different committees that you've been serving on, or anything else that you'd like to share with us. That provides you an opportunity to share what you're up to, but it also provides us an opportunity to give you feedbacks, insight, or reach out to you later and be like, hey, I think this is a pretty cool project. I want to work with you in this project. And so that will help collaboration in between all of you. What I will do is I will pass this along. I want you all to write your name and then select 2 dates that are up here next to your name. That will be your days for senator reports. I will send out a follow-up later tomorrow so that you're all reminded, and then we might have Outlook calendar invites sent to you so that we are invited through Outlook as well. Any questions before I send this out? Seeing none, I'll send this out. While that is being sent out, there is another update that I have for all of you. And I know a couple of you have been wondering Speaker Andry's absence here from the Senate. Speaker Andry wanted me to share some things with you today. I know resignations are really tough. We had 1 resignation over last week for College of Science, Engineering and Technology, but we also had another resignation from Speaker Andry. She is resigning from the position of speaker as of today due to ongoing health issues that she's been experiencing. She wants to thank you all for being awesome representatives and hopes that you will continue to be amazing people. What that means is that we now have a vacancy at the office of speaker. This vacancy will open to all students to apply, and we will elect a speaker within 2 weeks. That is to say that this vacancy won't be eligible for election until September 25th, which is why you'll notice that I scratched out September 25th because we might be voting on a tentative speaker candidate. What I want you all to know is this is open to all students. Any student who is eligible to apply, that means any student who's taking 1 credit classes at least here at Minnesota St. Mankato is eligible to apply for the position of speaker. Applications will be live by the end of this week, and we will take those applications all the way through 24th of September. If there are any questions pertaining to the responsibilities of the position, to the compensation, what are the benefits that a speaker gets, reach out to either of us and we can help answer those questions. You might have also been wondering why you have not received office hour emails, and this is why, and we really apologize for all of that. But we will get back to you on different things. We're still catching up on different things that we need to do on back end as we run these different student government meetings or ensure a lot of things for student government.
With that office hours email, I'm going to be sending out a joint email about office hours. Abby behind the scenes worked on some forms for us, which we really, really appreciate her taking the time to do, even with all of the other things she's dealing with. So I will be sending out an email that better explains office hours, how to track them, all those good things, so that at the end of the semester you can all get paid, because that is what we want. And then along that, within that email, I will also be talking about the vacancy for speaker. Other vacancies we have and all of the committee positions we still have, and sending out an updated committee and position tracker just so that You all know who is now here since we've had a lot of elections in the last 2 weeks, and can get a hold of one another if needed. So there will be like a comprehensive update email, potentially either going out tonight or tomorrow morning, depending when I get done with homework tonight.
That's fair. Alrighty, any questions for either of us about anything that we talked about? If you do have other questions, feel free to send us text either through Teams. Most of you have my cell phone numbers. If you feel awkward sending emails, just shoot me a text and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Awesome. We'll move forward with announcements. Any announcements from anyone? John.
Senator Colleran may not have seen my team's message. I'm gonna give a commercial for the ULEAD conference. It starts Monday next week.
So the ULEAD conference is again a leadership development opportunity open to any and all students at no additional cost. The first thing that is open to any student is a student leader networking social that will start at 5:30 on Monday night in the ballroom, and it will be followed by the student leadership panel. It's called Been There, Done That, and it's from experienced student leaders who've done things across campus during their time here, and they're there to help provide thoughts, advice, and all of that for incoming students or for new and rising student leaders. So that is an opportunity. And then Tuesday and Wednesday night, there are sessions. Our opening session Tuesday night is the keynote speaker. We'll have an introduction at about 5:40 in the Ostrander Auditorium. And then the keynote speaker is going to speak about social excellence, a program that will help people engage and network with their fellow students. That will be followed by some breakout sessions on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we have 3 rounds of breakout sessions. All of these sessions can be found in Mav Central. If you go to the events page for it's called ULEAD Conference is the group. So if you just look U-Lead, you'll find that in Mav Central and can find all of the sessions. All of the session descriptions are there. We're giving away a $25 bookstore gift card for every session and a couple of them for the keynote. So if you are interested, please feel free to go to those and let us know if you have any questions. So Senator Colleran serves on the committee as well for that. So.
Awesome. Do you need folks signing up for that, or are we all covered?
I'm gonna know that tomorrow morning.
Awesome. So we'll send you additional information through Teams. Just make sure you're keeping an eye out for those. Thank you, John. Any other announcements? Well, for those of you, if you are a information technology, computer science nerd, or you're looking for an opportunity in that field, there is a career fair tomorrow at the ballroom. So if you're looking for possible job opportunities, there's a career fair at the ballroom that you should maybe attend. Alrighty, we'll move forward with roll call. Senator Hart. Here. Senator Balogun. Senator Schwarzenegger. Here. Senator Emke.
I'm here, Balogun.
Awesome. Good. Senator Ponte. Here. Senator Maika. Here. Senator Panga. Here. Senator Dietrich.
Here.
Senator Smith. Senator Drager.
Here.
Senator Speltz.
Here.
Senator Emeline.
Here.
Senator Moore.
Here.
Senator Bugney.
Present.
Awesome. Senator Maba.
Present.
Senator Parekh. Senator Karki. Senator Risa. Senator Rickle. Senator Colleran.
Here.
Senator Robertson.
Here.
Senator Zelmer.
Here.